Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Rushil Decor Q4 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by Asian Market Securities Private Limited. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. Actual results may differ from such expectations, projections, etc., whether expressed or implied. Participants are requested to exercise caution while referring to such statements and remarks. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Karan Bhatia from Asian Market Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Nirav. A very warm morning and welcome all to the Rushil Decor fourth quarter and 12 months FY23 earnings conference call hosted by Asian Market Securities. From the management side, we have with us Mr. Rushil Thakkar, Executive Director, Keyur Gajjar, CEO, and Hiren Padhya, CFO. I now hand over the call to Rushil Bhai for his opening comments. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Karan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rushil Decor Limited earning conference call for the fourth quarter and the full year ended on 31st March 23. I would like to thank Asian Market Securities for arranging this call and all the participants for taking time to join this call. Today, I am joined by Mr. Keyur Gajjar, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Hiren Padhya, Chief Financial Officer, along with Ed Factors PR, our Investor Relationship Advisor. We have shared and uploaded the investor presentation on the exchange and hope you all have gone through the same. Let me share with you some of the key highlights for the fourth quarter and the full year ended on 31st March 23, during which we have recorded a revenue growth of 9.6% and 34.3% respectively. Both our laminate and MDF business have shown a steady growth in this period. Our laminate business registered a growth of 4% in the revenue for the fourth quarter over the same quarter last year and 11% for the full year. During the fourth quarter, our laminate exports grew by 9% year-on-year basis and by 18% for the full year basis. As on date, our products are exported to over 51 countries, highlighting the strong demand for our products in the global market. We are strongly working towards enhancing our laminate portfolio by adding the new designs and keeping ourselves updated with the needs of the customer. Coming to the MDF business, our volumes for the quarter increased by 22% year-on-year basis, reaching 66,179 cubic meters compared to 54,179 cubic meters in Q4 FY22. For the full year, volume increased by 35%. As evident from the results, the year gone has been a very important year in the journey of Rushil Decor. We established ourselves as a formidable player in fast-growing MDF market. We are able to ramp up our capacity at our Andhra Pradesh facility and increase our market presence by catering to rising demand of the MDF products across the country. During the year, our strategy was to further build on the value-added portfolio in MDF segment. We have successfully doing it, and this is highlighted from the fact that value-added product contributed 36% of the overall revenue of the MDF boards in the term of the value in the financial year 23 and 38% during the quarter 4 financial year 23. Our dedication for achieving higher utilization and efficiency has been paying off, and we have crossed the set milestone that reflects in this quarter. Our capacity utilization for MDF for the financial year has crossed 75% level and 77% for the fourth quarter in FY23, as guided at the beginning of the financial year, and the target is to reach about 90 to 95% utilization levels over the next 2 financial years with a significantly higher contribution of value-added products. During the year, we have made significant progress in expanding geographical presence by adding 80 new dealer distributors for both laminate and MDF. This will further assist to cater to a larger customer base and increase the visibility of the brand Rushil and Veer. Our continued collaboration with the local carpenters across the country and conducting workshops to educate them on the benefits of MDF and enhancing their skills on the use of MDF is also a positive step towards delivering effectively to the end customer. With this branding, distribution and Carpenter Connect initiative, we should be able to achieve strong growth with stable EBITDA margins going ahead. During the quarter, realization in the domestic industry for the plain MDF were subdued and we faced some challenge on account of higher imports of plain MDF and marginal increase in the wood prices, which impacted EBITDA margins in the MDF business compared to the previous quarter. However, it is encouraging to see that despite of this, we have seen a significant improvement in our volumes and revenues on year-on-year basis. We are confident that with the target of increased contribution from value-added product, expanding our market reach by adding dealers and distributors, etc., we are in a position to mitigate this trend and deliver significant growth in the coming year. On the debt reduction front, as you are aware that we are raising funds through rights issues, which will help us to fully repay the unsecured debt. A part of this, our healthy cash generation from the operation has supported us as well. During the year, we have repaid rupees 38 crores of secured debt. Going ahead, we estimate generating sizable amount of cash from the operations, which will be utilized to repay our annual long-term debts plan and fund the laminate capex. This is all from my side. I would like to hand over the call to our CFO, Mr. Hiren Padhya, who shall take you through the financial highlights. Thank you very much.
Good morning and thank you, Mr. Rushil. Let me take you through key financial highlights for the quarter and the full year ended 31st March 2023. For the quarter, we have reported operating revenues of 213.9 crore, which is a growth of about 9.6% compared to 195.1 crore. This was driven by growth in both our business of MDF and laminate. Our MDF business revenue grew by 11% on year-on-year basis, contributing rupees 159.1 crore in Q4 FY23 compared to rupees 143.1 crore in Q4 FY23. Laminate business contributed rupees 51.3 crore in Q4 FY23 compared to 49.4 crore in Q4 FY22, which is a growth of 4%. EBITDA for the quarter 4 FY23 stood at rupees 28.2 crore as against 31.6 crore in Q4 FY22, a year-on-year decline of 10.6%. Profit after tax stood at 13.6 crore as against 15.4 crore in Q4 FY22. While EBITDA margin for the quarter stood at 13.2 compared to 16.2 in Q4 FY22, PAT margin stood at 6.34% in Q4 FY23. During the quarter on MDF front, our export volume stood at 5,645 CBM, while our domestic volumes saw a significant growth of 28% compared to the Q4 FY22. On quarter-on-quarter basis, domestic volume increased by 32%. Coming to full year financials, revenue from operations stood at 838.4 crore. That is a growth of 34.3 crore, which is led by strong growth in MDF and laminate business. But MDF contributed 620.7 crore in FY23, growing by 44% compared to last year. Laminate contributed 205.9 crore in FY23, which is a growth of 12%. EBITDA for the full year stood at 149.4 crore as against 73.9 crore in previous year, which is a growth of almost 102% on year-on-year basis. EBITDA margin for the FY23 stood at 17.82%, profit after tax at 77.7 crore compared to 22.8 crore in FY22. That is all from my side. I would like now request operator to open the floor for the questions.
Thank you very much. We'll now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Karan Bharedia from Asian Market Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, just wanted to have some clarity on the possibility of CVD duties on the cheap imports, any timeline for this, and where is this stuck? Because somewhere I believe the finance ministry were to give some budget in the second week of Jan, but they kept quiet. So just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, hi Karan, thank you for the question. As of now, the update on the CVD is still with the finance ministry, and we have not got any kind of a reply yet from the finance ministry. So we are also waiting on the same.
Right. And second thing from mine, on the laminate capex. So by when will that be done, and how different will be the realization and the margin profile compared to the existing portfolio? That's it from mine.
I think in the last call also we have already indicated that total capex is around 60 crore, and the commercial production which we are expecting in the first quarter of next financial year, that is June 24. And if we just consider 50-60% capacity utilization in that financial year, the approximate revenue would be around 100 crore at the rate of 50-60% capacity utilization. And margin wise, yes, as informed earlier, this project is purely for the exports, and we would like to cater this product, this is jumbo product, mainly to US and Europe and Australia and New Zealand, where the margins would be comparatively higher than the present margin which we are having as of now.
Okay. Thank you for the detailed answer.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keshav Lahoti from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity.
Keshav, sorry to interrupt you. May I request you to speak a little louder, please?
Yeah. So what I want to understand, as we are seeing, the export is increasing from the industry. So possibly I was expecting maybe the export might have increased from Rushil also, which is not visible because the export was something like 35-40,000 CBM in Feb month. So why have Rushil not tapped this opportunity? How are the margin in export, and how you see the industry? The import might be increasing, but export is also increasing at pace. So still we can remain a net export in MDF.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So talking about the realization, our realization from Q3 to Q4 has increased, and the volumes which we are targeting is also around 5,000 to 6,000 cubic meters a month. So the export to different country will be constant with this ratio, as we said, internally decided by the management, and we don't see an extra capacity which will be exported. The rest of the capacity will be utilized for our domestic purpose as well.
Okay. How is your margin in export? Is it a break even, or you make some kind of 5-10%?
We make some out of it. It's not on the break even, it's slightly higher than that.
Okay. And what is your value-added mix for Vizag plant in Q4 and FY23?
Okay. Hi. Value added, I want to say that we have taken almost 78% growth from last Q3 to Q4. And if we talk about our entire value addition cell as of now, it's almost, I would say, almost 20% compared to last Q3 increase.
For Vizag, right?
For Vizag, we have taken a growth of 78%.
Okay.
And for entire operation, we have increased almost 20%. I mean, our achievement was 20% increase in value addition. And altogether, if we talk about it, is almost 30% for the financial year, which was our target for Q4, and now we are planning 40% in coming days.
Okay. How is the pricing difference import and domestic product right now in the last quarter and currently?
If we talk about basic line product, which normally in import it is almost raw product. So I think since last 2 quarters it's almost consistent, and the gap is again 10 to 15% depends on the destination.
So is it a fair understanding the value-added product don't faces competition from import, that is isolated from import, it's more towards plain MDF only?
Mainly I would say 90-95% business is import is plain MDF. So for value addition, customer, they prefer brands.
Okay, got it. And how has been the timber prices in last quarter and currently where it is and how you see the trend?
There is a slight change in timber price.
Okay. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. A request to all the participants, please restrict to 2 questions per participant. The next question is from the line of Bhavin Rupani from Investec. Please go ahead.
Hi sir, thanks for the opportunity. So first question is related to MDF. So what is the import prices of plain MDF versus the domestic prices?
I think if we talk about specific destination which are not really nearest to port, then I think it's between 10% to 15%, 5 to 10%, 5 to 10%.
So you are saying import prices are lesser by 5%?
Yeah, import prices are lesser than 5 to 10%.
Okay, and sir, are there any increase in the international market prices in the international market recently of the MDF prices, plain MDF prices?
Repeat again.
Is there any increase in the international prices of MDF recently?
I actually came across one of the importers and he told me they have increased $15 per CBM, and that news I got it somewhere in February.
Okay, and post that you are saying that the difference is still 10 to 15%, 10%.
No. I'm just comparing it as of 31st March only. So I'm really not sure what price import came in the month of March. Because, they have always some pending orders and all these things. So new pro forma invoice, I was told they have increased $15.
Okay. So can you please provide the volumes and margin breakup for the old and the new MDF plant? Is it possible?
Okay. When we are talking about new plant, that is Visakhapatnam, and old plant is Chikmagalur plant.
Right.
If we compare Q4, then sales volume, it has already increased in I think both the cases. If you compare with Q3, then suppose if it is Chikmagalur, then as against 17,381, the volume has increased to 19,256. And in case of AP plant, from almost 40,000 to 46,924, that means almost 47,000. So both way, sales volume has increased. Similarly, production has also increased in the same manner. And in terms of capacity, again, if we talk about AP plant, then for the last 3 quarters, we were having capacity utilization in the range of 68 to 70 to 73. This time, and in the last quarter, that is Q4, we have achieved for the whole quarter 77%, and in the last month of quarter, that is March, it was almost 80% as of now.
Thank you. Bhavin, I'll request you to join the queue for a follow-up question. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. The next question is from the line of Harsha from Dalal & Broacha. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. My question is related to the laminate segment. So when I look at the margins, they are relatively very lower, even though my realizations are not that low. So when I look at the realization the 1 year, it has been in the range of 690 to 740. So is it the case that there could be some sort of operational efficiencies at your level, and would you want to improve on that margins?
No, I guess it's not an operational inefficiency. It's just a product mix, number one, and it's a last quarter. So we have a lot of promotional scheme and everything which we have to pass on. As such, we are quite optimistic about maintaining our margin as like Q3, which was EBITDA was 11%. So we are targeting next financial year. It should be around the same way. That's what we are planning. Actually, we are trying.
So what is the value added mix in this quarter?
Are we laminates or MDF?
Laminates.
Value added, I said there is nothing like value added. Every laminate is a very different product. Like it has a 1 mm, 0.8 mm, it has exports. We have exports in Gulf. We have exports in Southeast and Far East Asia. So it's just a change of products mix. That's all. And the financial year is, we have to pass on certain promotional schemes and all. That's one of the reasons.
Okay. And the new plant, the margins for the laminate segment would be in double digit, right?
Yeah. In fact, with the old plant only, we are targeting double-digit EBITDA for sure. That's our prime objective, and we are focusing hard on that part. Because now we see raw material is quite stable since last couple of quarters.
Okay. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Udit Gajwala from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Just one follow-up. That what was the value-add portion of MDF in Q4 and for full year overall?
Hi there. You mean to say total combination of value addition, right?
Yes.
It's almost 30%.
This is for Q4, right?
Now Q4, I would say value added was almost 30%.
Okay.
So if I talk in sales way, almost we have sold 17,700 CBM of value added and 42,000 plus plain.
Okay. And just secondly, for coming fiscal, what kind of growth in each segment and margin guidance if you could highlight for both MDF and laminates?
I think for the value addition now this year our target is to reach at least 40% or more, and I'm sure it's not a problem for us. I think we are working hard, so we'll be able to do that part. That's our focus area. As long as margins are concerned, ideally we feel that MDF margin EBITDA has to be around 20%. And for laminate, it should be around 10%. That's what we are planning. We are trying.
And sir, what kind of revenue growth are you expecting for coming fiscal, given that largely should be driven by volumes?
Yeah, see, in order to achieve these margins, we have mainly three field. One is we have to increase our value addition business. You can see that in Q3 we sold almost 17,000 CBM of value addition, while it was 14,600 in Q3. So it was almost 20% growth we took for value addition. So this is one of our strategy. We want to increase our value addition business, value added business. Second part is efficient utilization of our plant capacity. If we talk about Andhra Pradesh plant capacity, we have almost achieved 78% in Q4. And Chikmagalur was almost 85%. So we are quite satisfied and we want to go further in that way.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Rishikesh Oza from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is on our revenue growth for next year. What would be our guidance for revenue growth for next year? Is like 14-15% a fair assumption?
I think in the last question only, Kirby has already suggested that we want to increase our capacity. So the way we are placed as of now is around 77-78% capitalization in AP and 85% in Chikmagalur. So we want to go further in terms of 5-10% increase, which will be reflected in the revenue. This will be around, I think, as you suggested, is right, in the range of 15-20% in terms of value.
Okay, in terms of volume, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, sir, what was our value-added product, MDF value-added product realization for Q4?
Say it again.
Q4 realization.
What was the MDF value-added product realization for Q4?
Overall, it was 34,424.
Okay. And so my last question is, how are we deploying the rights issue proceeds?
Okay, I think the object clause is very clear. Out of this 107 crore total value of right issue, 56 crore approximately will be directly adjusted in present outstanding of unsecured loan from promoters, which will be converted into equity, and the balance amount is for the purpose of working capital. And the, I think, small portion as per the SEBI guideline, it will be for general corporate purpose.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Asim from DAM Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So just wanted clarification on the MDF value-added component. So in your opening remarks, you mentioned 36%, and later you said it was 30% for FY23. So is 36% revenue and 30% volume for value-added products?
I'm talking about 30% volume.
30% is volume. And then do you have I mean, how much would it be on the revenue basis, value-added for the full year?
I think we have to find out 36%, I believe.
See, as of now, we talk about the last full financial year. I think full financial year, the value, in terms of value, it will be around 37%.
Okay, so 37 is value, 30 is volume. And would you have figures for FY22? What would these corresponding figures be?
Just a minute. No, I think it is not available as of now. We'll just try to give you later on.
Okay, sure. And just final question, what all comes in value-added products in MDF?
Value-added product is something which is not interior grade basic board. So maybe one part is pre-laminated MDF, another is exterior grade MDF, exterior grade pre-lam MDF, HDF WR, that is our Max Pro product, which is again a high density product with powerful performance. It's again a pre-laminated HDF WR, that is pre-laminated MDF Max Pro. These are our products for value added. Then we are also giving some painted board for specific operations. These are all our value added products.
Okay, so basically we are available in all these special products which even a green panel or a Century Ply provides to the markets, right? There are no where they are providing something that you don't.
No, we all have the more or less same products.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. The next question is from the line of Rajesh Kumar Ravi from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Good afternoon. My question pertains to first on the margin compression in the MDF segment. We see that the realization has come off sequentially by around 10%, primarily in the domestic side. But as in last quarter, there was one-off, those forex losses, which, and we adjusted for that, the margins were healthy. Are there any one-offs in this quarter numbers also?
See, as you said, rightly said, this quarter margin has contracted. The main reason for this is like there is pressure from price also. That is one part, and a small portion is like in terms of increase in raw material price. But on other side, if you see, I think volume-wise we have already increased. So we are very confident that in the coming quarters, I think we'll again regain the same margins, which is there in the last, full year. If you compare with the full year margins, which is in this range of 20-22%. So that is what our target is. But there is no one-off as of now. Only exception would be, as rightly said by Keyur Bhai, that in case of laminate, there are some schemes, etc. Otherwise, in MDF, there is nothing like any one-off expense.
Okay.
Except last quarter, that forex loss.
Mm-hmm.
This quarter, there is no such big loss.
Okay. And so when you're talking about going back to 20%, 21% from 16% in Q4, what is that being driven by? Because prices have not increased across markets, and even timber prices apparently seems to be elevated only. So what are the levers you're looking at which will lead to another 400 to 500 bips margin expansion quarter on quarter?
So you're talking about MDF, right?
Yeah, MDF.
Okay. MDF, I think it was...
I would answer this question, Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
What we feel that in last quarter, it was a product mix, and that's one of the reasons why our realization for plain was a bit lower.
Okay.
So we are improving and we are working on improving our product mix.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand the margins from 16% to 20%. We have to change our product mix, and we are working very hard, like we are promoting our products at various places. Now we started entering into the market. As I said, we have quite, increased our value-added business from Q3 to Q4, almost 20%. So now I'm sure this will help us to, increase our EBITDA margin. And yes, efficient utilization of capacity will be the another factor.
Okay.
As previously Hiren Bhai said, yes, price pressure is always there because we take price cut in the month of November, almost November.
Right.
By the time price implemented, it was end of November or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So entire effect is now in this quarter.
Okay. And just a follow-up, if you talk about margins, how are the margins for your value-added products in Q4 and FY23 on company level?
See, you can just see from the present figures also, when we are talking about plain product, the realization is in the range of 23,000-24,000.
Correct.
While the value-added product is around 34,000, right? So
Okay.
I think this will continue, and then the difference of this will definitely continue.
No, but on margin level, how much flows down?
Sorry?
At margin level, how do they work out?
We don't have the exact figure, but we are pretty sure it's quite better than the plain grade.
So around 500 bips difference should be there broadly. That much understanding can we get?
Actually, we can't say as of now, but then from realization, I think it is
evident. We can revert back to you after checking.
Sure, sir. Okay. And lastly, what was the full year number guidance for FY24?
Sorry?
Guidance for FY24 volume and value?
I think this was covered in the last two questions. See, on one side, the volume-wise, I think QB has already covered. So when we are increasing capacity, so that will be reflected in our volume. So we are as of now at 78, 79. We are targeting at least 85 plus in the coming.
So we are planning actually 90 to 95% in coming 2 years.
Exactly.
That's what our quantity target.
In terms of value also, I think as I mentioned.
And as I said, last 2 quarters, the price in import is not increased so far. Not decreased. And probably I heard it's increased by $15 per CBM. So we don't see much pressure on realization now onwards.
Thank you.
I answered your question, Rajesh.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much. A request to all the participants, please restrict to 2 questions per participant. The next question is from the line of Arun Baid from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Just one question. Yeah. How would the wood cost be for us in the current quarter, which is Q4?
Per ton, it is around 3,500 plus.
Okay. And these prices, sir, have they started to go up, come down in the current quarter in April? How have they moved?
No, it has slightly increased in the current quarter compared to for Q3, Q4, there's a slight increase. Q1,
actually, it was increased somewhere in middle of quarter, so we will see the exact effect in, I think, by
May, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second thing is, just to recheck, you mentioned that your realization would be around 24,000 rupees for plain MDF.
No, I was just comparing I think giving the comparison of valued versus plain. Where I had said that
annual realization was 23,284 in financial year 22-23 compared to 33,000. It was 23,257 compared to 36,328 for the annual. That was the reason.
No, sir, just
we said in our Q4 it was 20,400. Only reason for this realization is our product mix, and we are quite sure and optimistic that we are working on change of our product mix, so it will improve.
No, sir, this point was asked because, you mentioned that roughly 30% of your volumes was value add, right, in this quarter, Q4, which is at 34,000 rupees. And if I look at your blended number, the domestic number comes at 24,508 rupees for the quarter. So that's means the number should be way lower for your plain MDF business.
I want to just bring one thing in your notice that when we talk about the ratio of value added to plain, we only consider domestic sales only.
So I'm talking of domestic realization only, sir. The domestic realization was 24,508 rupees for the quarter.
No. For Q4, domestic realization in general was 20,410.
So I'm sorry, my numbers were, and I'm mistaken somewhere. Your domestic.
The total realization was 24,030.
Yes.
It was for total MDF, including exports, domestic, value added, all together. So, if I narrate again, local, that is a plain domestic is 20,410. I'm talking about Q4 realization. Value added is 34424. That is 34,424. For exports, plain is 18,641, and for export value added 230 CBM, so it comes around 26,320. And if we talk about entire quantity for Q4, it's around 66,180, which is, I would say, almost 78%, I believe. And the value and realization is 24,034.
So, and just one clarification here. You mentioned that realization for plain in this quarter was 20,410 for domestic MDF. What was this number be in Q3, sir?
Okay, in Q3, it was 26,510. And the volume was 57,310.
There is a drop even in the plain MDF QOQ.
Yeah, as I said in Q4, our product mix for the plain MDF was different. That's one of the reasons, but we are working hard on certain parts.
But there's been no price cuts, right, in Q4 from your perspective?
Q4 as such, we didn't take much of the price cut, except one or two states or some target-oriented scheme to dealers. That's all, but not.
So that would be how much range-wise, roughly?
It's not in my hand. I can share later on for sure.
Sure. Thanks.
But I don't think it's very significant.
Okay. So this number will go back to 24,000 from next year.
Last price cut we take, that was on 16th November 2022.
Yeah. So from next quarter onwards, Q1 onwards, or current quarter, which is running right now, this number will go back to 24,000 rupees average?
Yeah, if we talk about common number 24,000, yes, we are quite optimistic about performance and better performance about this part.
No, what I'm trying to indicate here is this is plain MDF, not including your exterior grade or other VAP value added.
Because I understand what you're saying is this only plain number can improve the overall realizations.
Right.
Okay. So we are quite optimistic because nowadays, export realizations and everything, like, of course, last quarter to this quarter, we have taken some growth in export realization.
Right.
But we see the same realization in coming quarter too. And value-added realizations, we feel that it will increase over the period. And we expect local plain business, that is domestic plain interior grade will also fetch us a good realization as we are working on our mix. That's what I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Divakar from Prudent Equity. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, what is the reason behind the significant decrease in export revenue this quarter?
Say it again.
Could you please, explain the reason behind a significant decrease in export MDF revenue this quarter?
Actually, quarter on quarter, our realization has improved. Last quarter, volume.
Yeah. So volumes, basically, if I compare, the volumes are also down on quarter and both on year-on-year basis.
One reason is quarter 4 is our last quarter of financial year, and as you understand, gentlemen, this quarter we have a more opportunity to sell our material in domestic market at better realization. And that's one of the reasons. So we are targeting Q1 this year is the same pace of 5,000 CBM per month, more or less. So we expect the rate will be back in Q1 for 15,000 CBM.
And also would like to add here something is that the realization on the exports were slightly decreasing, and we didn't wanted to take that dip. So we took a steady growth with a good realization what we wanted to achieve. And that is another reason why we didn't export it into the much bigger volume than comparing quarters.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And one more thing I would like to add is now we feel that there is an increase of $15 in international market price increase. So we are quite optimistic about better realization of exports in Q1.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Parth Bhavsar from Investec India. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. So thank you for the opportunity. Sir, just in continuation with previous participant's question, so you mentioned that the timber cost was approximately 3,500 rupees per CBM in Q4. So what was this number last year and the previous quarter?
3,550 was per metric ton.
Per metric ton. And this was last year, it was how much, sir? And
yeah, last quarter, I think it was more or less in the same range.
Okay.
Maybe 3,400 or 3,500.
Okay. And last year?
Financial year, it was probably around 3,000 or 3,200, something like that.
Okay. Okay. And how do we see this number going forward, like in Q1?
Well, normally we don't see much changes, maybe around 3-4% together. That's all.
Okay.
And that effect happen only in January end or something. So we don't see now much effect in coming quarter. Because normally timber in south, its effect is always 3-4%.
Okay.
As on date.
And then, sir, what about the chemical prices? How are they in Q4 and going ahead? What is your view?
Very honestly, now it's going stable, quite stable. But
okay.
There is on and off some fluctuations. That's
okay. So for us, what would be the consumption cost for chemicals in Q4?
You have to separate consumption cost. So I think that would be in the range.
I would say 55%, 45 to 50% is wood and chemical together. See, we have always option of making that combination change. If the chemical price is higher, we can, increase the wood, and if there is a chemical price is down, we can decrease the wood, and so it's all about recipe. But
okay.
Together, it's 45 to 50%.
And sir, how does this help, in terms of the output? If we increase the chemicals, so would the weight increase for MDF? Or
that's what I'm telling you. It's a recipe. So end of the day, we have to maintain our quality. Consistency of quality is very important.
Right.
So whatever the factors for technical checks, we have to maintain in any case.
Okay, so as per my understanding, if there's a particular recipe or you have to maintain a particular quality, there would be a specific input that you have to put in, and there would be a specific output to maintain that quality. So when you say we can change the recipe, so what do you mean by that?
Recipe means the ratio of wood and resins. Wood fiber and resins.
Okay. Perfect, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Yeah. Thank you once again for your interest and support. We'll continue to stay engaged. Please be in touch with Ed Factors, our investor relation team, for any other further details or discussions. Looking forward to interact with you in next quarter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Asian Market Securities Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.